Good morning and welcome to the NextGen Planners Big Breakfast.
I'm Joe Scott and Camacho.
And I'm Chanelle Pattinson, and we are here to bring you a fresh perspective on careers in personal finance and financial planning.
That's right. And today we'd like to hear from you, particularly on our Big Breakfast big topic, imposter syndrome. So get sharing.
Okay, so coming up on today's show, we have three awesome guests. We've got Dale Kirkpatrick from Modulus, Ali Marchand and Lona Whitley from Impressum, and Rohan Sivajoti is joining the show. So let's get straight into the show with our first guest, Dale Kirkpatrick from Modulus. Morning, Dale.
Morning, how are we?
Good, yeah.
Good.
Great. How are you doing, Dale?
Good. Can't complain too much.
Good. So to kick things off, you've recently launched your own business, which is amazing. So what was the catalyst for this?
Yeah, so I'd always wanted to run my own business. So my last job, apparently I got the job because in an interview, I was asked after 10 years where I saw myself, and I said I wanted a seat at the big boy table at the business. So basically, after I was there for 8 years and after the business was sold, and obviously the chance to actually do that wasn't going to be possible anymore, then we kind of started thinking about actually setting up our own. So at the time there was me and another advisor there called John Sloan, and the idea was hopefully we were going to take over the business or at least start helping it. But whenever that didn't happen, now both of us have gone out and we have launched our own business. So had quite an eventful day last July. Was basically give up everything, give my laptop back at 2 o'clock, and then my second daughter was born at 5 o'clock that day. So yeah, a lot changed that day, but that's a bit of motivation. So no, it's been good. The business literally has just launched. I've got my authorization through last week, and hopefully the website's going to be launched hopefully today. If not today, it'll be Monday. So it's exciting.
Jeez, that's brilliant. So much coming up. That's really exciting. And obviously launching a business is not a small feat. How have you found this experience, and has there been many surprises for you?
Yeah, there's been quite a lot of surprises along the way, but it's been good. So the good stuff is there's been a lot of work, but I've enjoyed it, which is, I suppose that's a good thing. Even just the silly stuff like having to decorate an office. Like I hate painting and decorating, but I didn't mind doing it to our own office. And as well, just talking to people, everyone's been so helpful. Whether they're people from NextGen, and obviously I'm part of the Blast Off group, which has been good for us. But even the local advisors around they've been phoning up and basically asking what you're at and saying if you need help. And everyone's, at least over Zoom anyway, they've pretended to be excited about our business as well. So yeah, but I suppose we never expected to have to form so many kind of partnerships and business relationships without ever actually meeting anyone in person, which has been strange for Zoom.
Yeah.
And it's probably saved a lot of money on flights back and forth to England, but that's been good. Some of the bad surprises is just the costs of everything. Just silly things like to have your logo at the top left of a screen costs a monthly fee, which is not going to move. So just silly things like that. And I suppose the thing that we really underestimated was just kind of watching your savings go down, because obviously you spend a lot of time with no income, and never really appreciated that before.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Did you have to make many adjustments because of lockdown? Because obviously, I doubt you're sort of expecting it to go as crazy as it has been.
We've had to make some. So probably the two kind of main things would be to the business strategy overall, and just kind of the software stuff we were going to need. So we've ended up buying maybe kind of like better laptops with touch screens and stuff, proper webcams, we drawn pads, and just software that we never thought we'd have to spend at the very beginning. And we kind of always said, oh, we'll get that when we can afford it. But we've gone in and just bit the bullet and done it now. The one thing I suppose I've had to have a word with myself about was the fact I now own a selfie stick, which I never thought would happen. So now, the business strategy, I suppose the plan was always we're just going to go out and talk to people and grow the business that way. And obviously that's not really an option anymore. So we've kind of had to really rethink that. So we've been doing a lot of kind of marketing SEO. I did an SEO course. I've done the video challenges on NextGen and the marketing challenges and all. So hopefully that'll all be good and it'll work for us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure it will. I mean, online is a great place to market yourself, and it's great that you're adapting to the situation as well. It's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I imagine you've got some pretty hefty goals for this business. Could you potentially share some of those over the next few years? What you've got planned?
Yeah. So straight off the bat, first year is just simply survive. It's really just get to a point where we can have enough kind of recurring income coming in that'll pay the bills and hopefully pay ourselves. So obviously there's two of us in the business and we've both got childcare that needs paid. So that's a pretty big goal just to do that. I actually have a deal with my wife of no income coming in by the summertime. I'm doing night shifts in Tesco's. So I really don't want to have to do that. By kind of probably year two, and we'll be looking at we'll hopefully have clients on board. We'll be bedding down our processes, getting used to it, just continued growth, and probably looking at bringing another person in who's kind of just going to help with admin and power planning and stuff like that. And I suppose further afield, year three, just continued growth and being able to kind of walk the walk as well as talk the talk. So we're all about, we want to make sure that whatever people do works for them. So we want it to work for us too. So basically, if I've got, my wife's a teacher and I've got kids, so whenever they're going to be off for 2 months in the summer, I don't want to be working that whole time. So making sure that it works for us at the same time. I don't want to be one of them people that goes on holiday and then actually rents a serviced office beside the villa they're staying in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, they sound like great goals, and it's really exciting, and I'm sure it'll be brilliant. So looking forward with the business, you talked about how you've had to adapt and sort of getting clients in potentially by video challenges and marketing and stuff like that. Do you think you'll sort of stick to that as sort of the world goes back to normal, or do you think there's other ways you'll attract new clients?
Yeah, so I suppose there's kind of three ways we're kind of going to go for clients, which it's not going to be anything really different. So it's going to be from client referrals, obviously, marketing and professional connections. So as part of kind of the Blast Off group, a lot of my recent one-to-ones with Rohan have been all about client experience and basically making sure that clients want to refer you and they almost can't not refer you. So that's all about kind of being actually to be building on the kind of the flourishes, I suppose, and making people remember you. So that's kind of the one end. The marketing, doing things like I've had 6 months of a non-compete, so I've spent 6 months creating content. So we've got our kind of videos, blogs, downloadable guides, which we're kind of following what all the marketing people are saying. And if you kind of just make educational and informative stuff, you'll build trust, and apparently that'll lead to inquiries. So we'll put that to the test. So we've kind of been doing that ourselves to keep it all authentic. And as part of that, we've kind of realized we quite like working with clients like engineers that kind of, whenever you're in a meeting, they're happy with seeing the big picture, but they want to get down to the detail to see how it all comes together. And we've kind of actually found from that some planners would run away from that. They'd think they're being challenged, but it's really just people want to know a bit more. So by working at that as well will hopefully help us with this. Professional connections is just the usual. I'm used to working with accountants and solicitors, so keep doing that and keep helping them, and hopefully referrals will come. And that's the plan anyway.
Certainly sounds like you're on the right track. I mean, getting your name out there, definitely best thing you can do at the moment. We've actually had a lot of talk about ESG investment recently. What are your thoughts on ESG and its significance at the moment?
Yeah, obviously everybody's talking about it. Whenever it shows like Billions on TV are starting talking about it, that it's actually hitting the mainstream. So I think it's going to become the norm. Basically, every fund manager and every provider is launching an ESG fund, and to the point that probably in 5-10 years time, everything will just be expected to be ESG. That it probably won't be labeled ESG anymore. It'll be really specific kind of funds that focus on one area of it or one thing. So we've taken the approach that it's going to be the future, it's going to be the long term. So we're doing a main ESG portfolio in ours, which we're looking at. But the point of it is it's not going to kind of compromise all our other investment beliefs. So you see some people that they've been big passive, widely diversified lovers, and then all of a sudden they're going into these really small niche impact funds, and it just, how you're going to tell a client that, we don't know. So we've been very sure kind of we want to make sure that the ESG, it has to sit alongside your other beliefs. It can't just be a complete change of direction, because everyone's going to be a bit confused by that then. But it'll keep fund managers in the job, and plenty of new funds can be launched, and you never know, it might replace all the online arguments of fixed fees versus percentage or whatever. You never know.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Dale. That was brilliant. That was really interesting chat. But sadly, we have run out of time. But
No
do
bother.
stick around and join our big breakfast topic discussion later in the show.
Cheers.
Thank you. Okay, so next up we have Ali Marchand and Lona Whitney from Impressum, who are here to talk about the rise of TikTok and how financial planners can impress the next generation of investors. So Ali and Lona, over to you.
Thanks so much. Good morning, everybody. It's so great to be here. So Lona and I think Lona, your mic is off, so that people can hear what we're saying.
There we go. Hello.
Let's talk. So we're going to talk about TikTok, which a lot of times whenever the word is mentioned, maybe by your kids or by younger people on Instagram, kind of we tend to cringe. We're like, oh no, not another trend that we have to figure out, right? And I think Lona and I know from experience, it's one that we were hoping we could just sit it out and ride out the storm and let it pass on by, but that's not the case. And I think Lona and I are going to share our personal experience with TikTok and how powerful it is, and how much it's completely changing the social media game, and businesses being on social media and people being on social media, and how we can reach others without kind of having to devote our 8 hours a day to our social media profiles. So I actually come from a finance background in wealth management, and Lona comes from a really technical marketing background. So I guess first off, Lona, let's hear your thoughts from a real marketing perspective on the power of TikTok and kind of what you thought about it at first and how it's evolved.
Yeah, Ali. So basically, as Ali was saying, I come from a super technical marketing background, and now we do this financial marketing business that's Impressum. And when Ali first brought up TikTok to me, I was like, no, it's just a trend that'll be over soon. And I was really not about trying to learn a new thing. But I'm also very deep in the marketing world. So I am subscribed to all of the marketing newsletters and things like that. And it just kept coming up. And eventually I started to pay attention to the data. And it's actually mind-blowing, the growth, the rate at which this platform is growing, and also the fact that the platform is no longer just for children, because at the end of the day, everything that comes out, every new platform that comes out, it always starts with the younger kids, right? So when Facebook first came out, it was always the teenagers on it first, and then it grew. And when Instagram first came out, it was the same thing. And now TikTok, I mean, at this point, it's growing. Like last year in 2020, it already grew its user base 95%. And at this point, 35% of the users on the platform are already above 30. So at that rate of growth, you're now in this unique opportunity to be able to get on there and grow a following and reach so many more people than you would otherwise. And so after a while of Ali bringing it up to me and me seeing this data more and more, I was like, okay, we got to get on there. And then I was still hesitant, but Ali went ahead and her TikTok blew up. So Ali, how about you tell us a little bit about how much reach your TikToks were able to get for free, completely for free?
Yeah. So I think one of the questions we hear the most from our financial marketing agency is how can I have the biggest impact in the least amount of time, right? Or I don't want to hire a CMO, or I don't want to devote my time to marketing. So where can I be spending my time that will actually have an impact? And from my personal experience, TikTok is the #1 platform that you can be on to have the biggest impact in the least amount of time and most efficient. So my personal TikTok, as Lona mentioned, I just started posting about videos about us growing our business, how to start a business. We're based in Zurich, Switzerland. So I was just going over the specifics of what you needed to really found your business here. And then I started talking about money mindset and getting people more involved with investing. And I mean, so I started with 0 followers, right? As we all do. And on my third video, this is still 0 followers. it got 10,000 views. So 10,000 people were reached through this video while I had 0 followers. And this is a game changer in social media, because I think the thing that's stopping a lot of us from growing is that when we post something on Instagram, it goes out to our followers, however many they may be. It's so hard to really get that reach and grow beyond our followers. And so TikTok has completely flipped that around and changed the game. And it's like, hey, okay, if you put some effort into really educating and creating valuable content, then we are going to promote it not only to your followers, but to the 1 billion active users per month. And then you have a potential to reach so many people. And I think on my 10th video about money mindset, it got over 220,000 impressions, 5,000 likes, and like 90 comments. And so people on TikTok are there to engage. They're not like on LinkedIn, people are there kind of to sneak around in the background. On TikTok, people are there to engage. They will not hold back about commenting and cheering you on. And also you get the trolls too, but just try to push those to the back of your mind. But I think the most powerful thing, and I think, Lona, you can speak on this a lot, is that it's a completely different platform for everybody who's using it. So my 18-year-old sister goes on there and she does see the trending videos and all of the dances. And I wish I could do the dances, but I can't. But I go on there and I see a bunch of investing advice. I see how to grow a business. I see so many entrepreneurs. I see like marketing advice and all this stuff. And so TikTok has created their platform to be a different thing for every single person. So now it's commonly known, if you engage with people, with other financial planners, then you'll be on Money Talk, or you'll be on Business Talk, or if you're into healthy food and exercising, you'll be on Health Talk. So it's commonly known that it's a different platform for every single person. And that's because the algorithm is just so powerful. And maybe Lona, you can tell us a little bit about your personal experience. And it's very different to mine, I know.
Yeah, sometimes I share a video with Ali, and because we are very different, we have different interests, and I'm more of the creative marketing and she's more business. And I mean, well, we're both business, but more finance and investing. And so she sees all of the, financial advice and stuff, and I see a very different side, like more of the creative stuff. But basically, because the algorithm is so tailored, that if you as a financial planner get on TikTok and start creating TikTok videos about like educating people about why they can use a financial planner and giving financial advice, your videos will be shown to people who are interested and receptive to that kind of information. So you're not going to be creating these videos for 15-year-olds. Your TikToks aren't going to be showing on these people's feeds. They're only going to be showing on the feeds of the people who are really interested in what you have to hear. And your feed, the information that you get, will be tailored to you as well. And that will be a source of inspiration of what kinds of content that you could also start to create. For example, like I also have followed some financial planners just to see what kinds of content that they're posting. And they post videos about like, okay, so you managed to save 50,000 pounds or dollars or whatever. Here's what you need to ask yourself in order to take the next steps. And there's also a ton of data to show and support the fact that people working with financial planners, their expectation is that you also act as their financial education, like a source of financial education for them. And these TikTok videos and creating these educational styles of content on TikTok is like so powerful to position yourself as this thought leader and source of trustworthy information. And so if you're creating these videos, the algorithm will show it to the people who are looking for this information. And it's like a very nice way of reaching this audience. And I mean, Ali, at this point, she's been posting for 2 months consistently and has like 3,000 followers, which on Instagram, on LinkedIn is unheard of, really. So, I mean, it's just really a super great platform to be on. And I mean, even in my experience, I post some silly videos here and there. And I've also, like, without a lot of effort, really not, I've managed to have a video with over 100K views as well, and also have like 2,000 followers, and I'm not even really trying, right? So imagine if you're trying, the impact that you can have. And before we, end this segment, I also want to point out that it's not just about views and likes and comments. Like, we have actually had an influx of really amazing people reach out to us, business connections, interns who have been asking to work with us, because of Ali's TikToks. And people who have reached out to us and connected to us on LinkedIn or connected to us on Instagram. And we've even had a few like introduction calls, and I think even one client come to us through TikTok, right, Ali?
Yeah, exactly. Just the last thought that I want to leave you with is with TikTok, unlike YouTube, so video is king. It's the most engaging type of content. So whether or not you're on TikTok, we really encourage you to be using video. But on TikTok, it's very unique that it does not have to be a production. You can literally just film yourself. Here, I could make a TikTok for 10 seconds long, and that is what the people want to see. They don't want to see highly edited things. They don't want to see you looking your best. They want to see you rolled out of bed and really telling them, hey, here's what you should do to fix your money mindset today. Here's what you can do to plan your rich life. Like, that's all they're in it for. And so I think it's a really powerful tool, especially for financial planners who have so much knowledge in that, in your heads, just that people want to see to really build a presence on. And I think that's what we'll leave you with.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ali and Lona. That was brilliant advice. And actually, I've come across someone who's now got a full-time job as a TikTok creator, literally employed by another company just to make TikTok videos. So it's definitely a big thing. We actually had a request in the chat for your TikTok handles. Would you be all right to share those?
Yes, of course. So mine is at Alize, ALIZE MAR. So Alize Mar, which is
we can write it in the comments because it's probably easier.
Perfect.
Yeah. But anyway, get on TikTok, and we challenge you to just try it out. Give yourself like 2 hours to learn how to make a TikTok and make 3 TikToks next week. Just try it out. Like, that's all we're asking, to just give it a try.
Let's do it.
Brilliant. Thank you, guys. It was really, really interesting, and it's all going a bit crazy. Brilliant. So now it's time for our big breakfast topic. Today we're talking about imposter syndrome with Rohan Sivajoti. So Rohan, would you like to take it away and talk a bit more about this topic?
Indeed. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Just before I do start, I just wanted to say congratulations to a few people. It was the Professional Advisor Awards last night, and there was a lot of firms within NextGen who had some wins. So some shout outs here, and to the EQ team, Jeannie and the team there, well done on the ESG award. Caroline Stewart for the Paraplanner of the Year award, fantastic. Chris at Longhurst as well, Client Engagement Award, and Chris and James down at Fraser James as well, who won Advisor Firm of the Year for the Southwest. So congratulations, always so good to see so many NextGeners doing well. I'm sorry if I've missed anybody off. Imposter syndrome. So there is a pandemic sweeping the nation, but that's enough about COVID. This is imposter syndrome. And it's right. So I've been sat here thinking of a way to sort of introduce this segment, and nothing's prevailed. And that's because I'm not an orator and I am an imposter, right? And I feel the effects of this as much as anybody else does. And with imposter syndrome, everybody is making it up as they go along. It's just that everybody doesn't have PR, research, and legal teams to brief us before we talk. The fact we don't have that means we're a bit more worried about the consequence and qualities of our actions, and as a result, we lack the confidence to be able to project. So there's this great diagram of imposter syndrome, which I urge you to seek out, which is this pie chart that has split into 2 sections. It says people who suffer with imposter syndrome and people who lie about not suffering with imposter syndrome, because absolutely everybody does. And let me give you a really good example. Barack Obama. So he exudes confidence, right? He is the guy who appears to know, like, he's doing right, he's doing everything. He's just an amazing speaker and so engaging. But when he launched Obamacare in the States, journalists absolutely tore him to pieces in the interview, because he quite simply didn't know enough about the thing that he was involved with and to the level of scrutiny that is involved with Obamacare. But he was kind of the face behind the operation, right? He was, well, labeled Obamacare, right? He was the actual face of it, but he didn't know enough about it. He was the ideas, his team was the detail. He was the president, he's not a medical expert. And that's all good, right? We aren't supposed to know everything about everything. And that expectation we place on others, as well as ourselves, isn't fair. So big companies, governments, etc., have these like huge teams to exude confidence, competency, and the like. And in truth, we kind of need this from them, because we don't want to believe that these people in the upper echelons know what they're doing. Like, we have to believe that, right? We do. We seek security from that. The truth of the matter is, though, is that the money is spent on those things to cover up the fact that we're all making it up as we go along. I'll put a link in the chat soon to this thread on Reddit that I saw recently that I thought was absolutely fascinating. And it's a list of people telling the world things that they consider basic that they can't do. And it brought me back to reality that we are, all very truly very, very similar. And we all have our own battles, our own idiosyncrasies, and our own lack of confidence in areas. And that's absolutely fine. But look, the fact that you are here today watching the NextGen Planners Big Breakfast, I'd say within this profession puts you in the top 10% already. And from speaking to tons and tons of NextGen members, and I've got 15 meetings with NextGen members today, and I can't wait. You've earned the right to be where you are. So absolutely take your time, and it is now your time to grab that. And in a world where we constantly compare ourselves to our friends and our peers on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, or whatever, as we TikTok, as we attempt to project this image of calm and credence when actually we're improvising inside, just remember this: everyone is doing the same thing. The only difference is that they may think it's you who's the competent one. You're not an imposter, you are the real deal. You're a human being with strengths and weaknesses. And just like that Reddit thread, it's only fair that I share a few things that I can't do with you. I find subtraction really hard, which is great when you're a financial planner. I struggle with a stutter, which in turn means that I shake for the first 30 seconds of any presentation. I also have a seasonal stutter, so August and September are my worst months, so try not to talk to me in those months. And for example, before presenting, I can't eat or drink in the hours running up to it because of nerves and me not feeling like I should be there or I've earned the right to be there. We all have our weaknesses. That doesn't mean we can't do our jobs. That doesn't mean we can't succeed. We absolutely can. So let's embrace that we have these issues. We have way more attributes to be successful financial planners, business owners, than the ones that will hold us back. It's time to believe in yourself, and you can absolutely do this. I wanted to end on like some awesome note, but I'm not a narrator and I'm winging this. So the end. Happily ever after. I just wanted to bring a bit of chat in. So can I bring some people in? Can we do this? Can we bring people in? Yeah, why not? Can I bring Ali back and Lona back? Awesome. Cool. Hey guys. Hello. So talk to us about your experiences of imposter syndrome.
Oh, there's a lot. There's definitely a lot.
So sorry, guys.
Should I go ahead and start?
I'm sorry.
Oh no, Ali?
Go for it.
Are you good? Okay. No, I guess I'll start. So, as Ali and I decided to start this business, I was working before we started Impressum together. I was working for a very big agency, and there was just like so many things at the agency that as a small business you can't really do in terms of you don't have a specialized social media team, a specialized Google Ads team, a specialized this team, a specialized that team. So it's like, okay, I know how to do all of this stuff, but I don't have like the power of this huge agency behind me. So of course there's a ton of imposter syndrome as well involved there. And things like doing your taxes and all of these types of things that also I've never had to do for a business. Every time these things come up, it's like, there's no way, I can't see a way of how I'm going to get past it. And then you just say yes and take one step at a time and break it down into like smaller little bits. And then it somehow always works out, because at the end of the day, like you said, we are the real deal and we are competent and capable. It's just, I find it really helpful that when I see this task that I feel absolutely incapable of completing, that I break it down into tiny little itty bitty bits and just take like one little piece at a time until it's completed. And then I look back and it's like, oh, well, of course I could do that because, I am a competent human being, but it's not always easy to see that in the beginning.
Absolutely awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And can we bring Dale back in as well?
Hello.
As if by magic. Dale, talk to us about your experiences of imposter syndrome.
Yeah, so the two kind of main times. So the first time it really, you notice it was whenever you kind of make that leap from just being kind of in the background to being a planner. So for the younger ones, like that first meeting where you're in front of a 55-year-old who's been running his business fairly well for the last 20 years, and you're the 23-year-old saying, I think it's time you get a pension. And they kind of look at you like, who are you to tell me that? So that's something that you have to come over the first time. And then obviously now run the business. Like I've only been doing it for 6 months. I thought I was a half decent financial planner, but whenever you get into the nitty gritty, you don't have a clue how to run a business. You just make it up as you go along, don't you?
Yeah, this is it. But that is exactly the point, isn't it? That we absolutely are, that we absolutely are just making it up as we go along, find our own way. And the sooner you sort of realize that everybody's doing exactly the same thing, the easier it becomes, right? So, awesome. Thank you very much. I've just seen the time. So I'm going to hand back over to Chanelle and Joe, I believe.
Thank you, Rohan. That was brilliant. Really, really interesting. So thank you for coming in to talk to us about this important topic, and to Dale, Ali, and Lona for being guests on today's show.
Brilliant. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
And well, that's it. That wraps up today's show. Be sure to join us next week for the finale of this season. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye-bye.